Okay. So I decided that this is probably about as successful as it's going to get, and it's not quite as successful as I want it, though. And the problem is that the problem is that I need to, like, scoop it like this, right? I need to scoop the fries like this. But there's not much room for them to collect. Because even though this can hold a lot of fries, right? There's kind of, if I'm scooping them in this direction, they're kind of just balling up at the front of it. So I think what I'm gonna do is basically this attached to this, right? Just a regular old scoop, but smaller, attached to a pair of tongs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put and start a sketch now. And basically kind of just sketch out the shape that it's going to need to be. Alright, so the idea would be that, like, this area here would all be the scoop. These two pieces would, like, be the be these wing shapes, and then it attached to the tongs like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try and get started on that now, on, like, actually designing something. So make a sketch on this plane now, just so I can okay. So what I need is I need a flat surface and then a very slight angle. And I need to measure that. I need to measure that angle. I'm going to call it 170 for now, but I don't know. And then I need let's see, if I make this parallel, no, that's not going to work. Okay, and then so I need this part obviously to go to, you know, slip onto the tongs. And then I need that kind of a shape. Gonna go ahead and make this parallel to this. And then I guess that makes sense. Okay, I can do that. This will be 2.4. These will be parallel. That'll be 0.25. That'll be 0.25. That'll be 0.25. See, I need to extrude this -4¼ inches. So that is the scoop shape, more or less. I'm going to go back into this sketch, and then I'm going to go ahead and offset this by -2.4. Yeah, 45 sketches. Bring this up by about 20. Yeah, -22.65. All right. So now I can start a sketch on this plane and project this. I'm going to give it a little bit of wiggle room. That's parallel to that. Just make this 45. Why not? Yeah, okay. And then another one. Okay. That is 2.4. This is 2.4. This parallel to that. And also 2.4. And this can be straight. Oh, that's right. Okay. I want this, right, to be the part that goes into. I want from here to here to be able to fit inside of that small cup I have. And I don't remember how big that was. I'm just going to call it 50 for now and bring that out. Okay. gonna go ahead and delete that so that I can I already defined it once, so it wants to keep it. Anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and extrude these by a chunk. I don't know, like another 20. And then if I fillet them with a radius of like, I think 20, right? Yeah. Let's see if I extrude this. No. I can't quite, can I? Oh, okay. That kind of works. Okay. And then project. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to cut away from, you know, all that. So this is gonna be perpendicular to this line. And then I'm just gonna make sure that the whole thing, okay. Okay. And then cut away. Oh, wait, hang on. Extrude this to here. And then cut that away. So then what I have created is hopefully hang on. That first extrude, I'm going to change that to 10. Okay. So what I have created is hopefully a scoop that can pick things up. And then if I mirror this, I'm not ready to mirror it yet, but if I mirror this, 4, right? Then I can pick things up either right-handed or left-handed, and I can close it, right, and hold more fries. So that's the idea there. So now I need to see if this scoop actually scoops. So what I'm really going to do is like cut out a piece here and like test it. first I kind of want to see about following this curve here. Where else is it? Get rid of the sketch so that I can see. Yeah, okay. No reason for that to, you know. Then can I change this to 10? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. What does this look like? These should be construction. Okay. So then something, oh, it was this one. Yeah. So then I guess it's gonna have to be half of 10 or less than 10. Five is the minimum, so I'm gonna go 4. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and while I can, oh, okay, I did that. Okay, did that a little too soon. So this is the idea that I had, right? Essentially, it's small enough to fit inside of a fry basket, and you should be able to scoop it up, and then you can mirror it, and then it'll... But I'm not going to print this whole thing, because that would just be annoying. So I'm not going to print this whole thing yet. I'm going to print... What am I going to print? I'm going to make a plane here. Eyeball it to there. And did I put any measurements on this? I just kind of guesstimated, didn't I? Yeah, let me see how big this is. 91? I don't know. Anyways, so I'm gonna split this body with this plane. I'm gonna see how well this scoops. Oh, but first, before I see how well the scoops, this body, okay. Get rid of the tongs. Project this. Make a line here. A line there. And extrude this by like a good chunk. That's just a handle. That's just a handle for me to reach into the fry scoop. For the fry basket with this fry scoop. So like this doesn't have to be that complicated. It just has to be stiff enough to work. 230 is a lot. I'll call it, let's try 100. Let's try 150. Yeah, because I don't want it to be I don't want to use a lot of filament on this, right? So and then this body, and then the tongs. Not these tongs, these tongs. Right, so like, this would be a lot longer with the actual tongs. You know what, I'm just gonna bring it down to... Just gonna bring it down there. Gonna rename this... I'm gonna call it Scrape Test. Alright, and save as a mesh. And I will see how well that works. Yeah, this might, if I use 0% infill, then this, watch. Okay. So if I change this, and I get rid of that, and then I use a certain minimum, and then I use a small number of lines, and I use a 0% infill. This would use more filament than this, because the majority of the filament that gets used is on the outside of the piece. And this is a larger area than this. That's just pretty interesting. So you know what, actually, let me change the plane. The reason I'm going to change the plane is because I want it to have some amount. There we go. And then body 16 is okay. So I moved the plane back a little bit. The reason being, I want, you know, to see if I can collect anything on this portion here, you know. So now I'm just gonna save it again. Yes. Alright, and then I will test this out. I'll print this out, test it out, and come back and see how well this works. Okay. I've got this here piece that I printed to test out the scooping function. And I have noticed something. It is very long compared to this. So what I'm thinking is have the handle go at an angle that comes up this way instead of coming this way. Yeah. So already that's one improvement there. Secondly, okay, it kind of failed a little bit at the end of the point because the point goes into a thickness near the end that is less than the minimum thickness that the printer prints. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure how far this is from this end to this, from this outside bit to this bit, and just kind of go in the model and extrude it in this way. Thirdly, now it's time for me to test this. I kind of printed it wrong because this is kind of a left-handed design right here, see? But yeah. So if I can get these all scooped up here, I can pick this up and scoop things. So it does scoop, so that's good. But I can't get this onto the bottom surface, right? For one, it's too long to get a good angle to do that, right? Which is why I need to take this handle and move it this, at a different angle. Two, that fail there means that there's just a hole there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it again after I cut off the corner here. Do I have... Okay. These are thicker. Oh, but first I got to measure how far this is. Make sure it's zeroed. Okay. And it's okay to go a little bit farther. So at least 4.4 millimeters inward is how far it has to go. So I'll have to remember that, 4.4, or I can just rewatch this and see. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the end here and see how well it works without that gap. That flew off somewhere. Gotta make sure that cats don't want to eat it. That flew off somewhere also. Gotta make sure that cats don't want to go get it. So now I'm gonna test this out. And it's wanting to get stuck, I assume because I didn't cut it very well. And also these bits are kind of rough. It's kind of rough up here. It's hard to tell because the stupid camera sucks, but there's rough edges there. Let me see if I can get it from the other side, because I would be stronger that way. Go this way, and then scoop. It needs to be smoother, right, on the corners. The corners are catching, and I've scooped up a chunk. So I'm going to dump these out and see how well it scoops on a flat surface instead of inside the... And so this has every advantage on the flat surface because I can get it from a advantageous angle, because this isn't an advantageous angle. So yeah, I can scoop pretty nicely, I think. Hang on. Yeah, I can scoop pretty nicely, right? So I just need to get it at an angle. Ugh, that means that when I use it, I'm gonna have to like do this and then this. It's gonna be annoying, but because like if this were the handle and there was the scoop going this way, I'd have to do this and then this, right? Scoop it up and put it in the fry cup. But I think this already has more progress and is more easy to use and more beneficial and better than what I've done so far, which is up there on the wall. So yeah, that right there though, that's pretty good for grabbing stuff and putting it in like a bowl or something, right? So like that I'm gonna keep that, because again, that's an attachment for the tongs, right? And this is going to be an attachment for those same tongs. So I'm going to keep that for whenever it's handy, and I'm going to keep this for whenever it's handy, assuming I can make it handy. So I think change the angle here Remember that 3D printers cannot create things with zero width because nothing exists that is zero dimensional. Smooth out these corners so that they don't get stuck. And then I think that's all the things I need to really do for the next step. I'm not gonna make the whole, well, I might could. Actually, that'll save me filament. Yeah, if I put a handle for the tongs on it on the next step, that'll save me filament. So, at least I think it will, because if I bend these up, I gotta see how much surface area that has, but I think it'll save me filament if I just make an attachment. Anyways, I already managed to get more successfully with this from the fry basket than I could with that, so I think I'm finally making some good amounts of progress here, right? That's good for its applications, but its applications just honestly aren't this. So now I'm gonna eat these fries again. I have been eating a lot of fries lately, but you never can have too many fries unless you have an issue with your cholesterol. But I've been eating a lot of fries, so I'm gonna eat these fries and then I'm gonna make the changes to this, and then I'll see if I can make more progress.